The Sephora sale is live right now. So if you're trying to figure out what fragrances are actually worth buying and what's not, this is exactly what you need to know before you check out. Every year, people rush into the Sephora sale thinking they're getting the best deal of the season. But here's the thing, Sephora is not always the best place to buy fragrances, even during the sale. Today, we're talking about what fragrances you should buy or skip during the 2026 Spring Sephora Sale. Have you ever bought something during the Sephora sale and then realized later you could have gotten a better deal somewhere else? Because that happened to me. I bought a fragrance from the Sephora sale, thinking I scored a great deal, only to walk into Nordstrom later and see that fragrance for a better deal. And that's when I realized something important. The Sephora sale is great, but it's not always the smartest place to buy fragrance. In fact, depending on the brand, you might actually end up paying more, even with the discount. Before you buy anything in the Sephora sale, let's talk about what's actually worth it, what's not, and the fragrances that will give you the most value for your money. The biggest mistake people make during the Sephora sale has nothing to do with their tier. Rouge members begin shopping April 10th with 20% off. VIB members start April 14th with 15% off. Insider members with 10% off, and the sale runs through April 20th. Depending on your tier, you either get earlier access or a slightly larger discount. But the real mistake is going into the sale without a strategy. Because the discount makes everything feel like a deal, but not everything actually is. Instead of just filling your cart, let's walk through the smartest way to approach the sale, starting with the fragrances you should skip. And later, I'm also going to show you a simple trick many fragrance shoppers miss that can save you even more during the Sephora sale. Some fragrances are absolutely worth buying, just not from Sephora. This is where people lose money, fast. Brands like Valentino, Armani, Burberry, and Carolina Herrera often have better deals outside Sephora. If another retailer is offering the full-size bottle, the travel, the lotion, the body product, the pouch, or even a gift with purchase, that usually beats buying one standalone bottle from Sephora. Carolina Herrera La Bomba is a perfect example. Sephora has the fragrance by itself for $165, but Macy's has the three-piece La Bomba gift set with the full-size bottle, body lotion, and travel spray for $175. From a value standpoint, the department store set gives you more for your money than buying the bottle by itself. Now, whether you personally want everything in that set is a different conversation, but strictly in terms of what you're paying versus what you're getting, the value is higher. The rule is simple. So if you're shopping the sale right now, don't let the discount trick you into buying the single bottle when there's a better set somewhere else. Once you know what to skip, the next question becomes obvious. What actually belongs in your Sephora cart right now? The easiest way to waste your Sephora discount is to spend it on the wrong size. Picking the right size is just as important as picking the right fragrance. If you already know you like a fragrance, sale season is usually not the time to keep spending money on little bottles, trial sizes, or travel sprays just because they feel safer. That is one of the biggest mistakes I've made in the past. Buying the smaller version feels smart in the moment until you realize you really wanted the full bottle, and now you've spent part of your budget on the wrong size. So if you already know you like something and you're shopping this sale right now, this is the time to go ahead and get the size that actually makes sense. Take Mugler Alien Pulp as an example. At Sephora, the 3-ounce bottle is $159, while the 0.34-ounce mini is $35. When you break that down, the mini works out to about $103 per ounce, while the full bottle is about $53 per ounce. That means the mini costs almost double per ounce compared to the full bottle. If you don't know yet, that's different. But once you do, buying smaller sizes first is where people end up spending more overall. The rule is simple. Do not use the Sephora sale to fund indecision. Use the Sephora sale once the decision is already made. So now that you know what to skip, the obvious question is, what to buy? Buying becomes easy once you know the best deals, and the biggest deals are the ones that allow you to stack value with the discount. For example, one of the smartest Sephora fragrance buys this year is actually the Sephora Favorites Mother's Day Perfume Sampler Gift Set with the redeemable voucher. In the past, some of Sephora's sampler sets felt tired because they were filled with fragrances people already had, already tested, or just were not excited about anymore. This one is different. This one has newer, more current fragrances in it, and that changes the value. From what Sephora is showing in the set, you are looking at options like Carolina Herrera, Marc Jacobs Daisy, Valentino, Rare Beauty, Burberry, Gucci, and Commodity. So this is not one of those sets where everything feels old and random. This one actually feels current. And that matters because the set is $98 and you are not just getting a box of minis. You are getting multiple mini bottles that by themselves would normally cost about $25 to $35 each, and in some cases even more. So when you have several of those in one set, it becomes a real value. But the bonus is that you can redeem for a 30 milliliter bottle, which drive the value up even more. And the redemption part is where this gets really interesting. Let's say the fragrance you want out of that set is the Burberry option. The 30 milliliter Burberry bottle is around $122 on its own. So if you buy the sampler for $98, redeem for that bottle, and still keep all the minis, you are already coming out ahead compared to just buying the 30 milliliter bottle by itself. Then you get to stack all of that with the sale discount. Now that's what I call a deal. So if the set includes fragrance samples you have been wanting to test, this is a win-win. But this only works if you actually like the fragrances inside. If you do not want the scents in that set, it is not a deal. But if there is a bottle in there you already know you want, and the rest are fragrances you were curious about anyway, this becomes one of the best fragrance purchases in the whole sale. But look, not everyone is into the fragrances in the sampler sets. So what do? One of the smartest Sephora buys are the full bottles you already know you love. That is where the discount actually starts doing its job. If you already smelled it, already tested it, already know it fits your style, and Sephora carries the exact bottle you want, Sephora makes sense. This is especially true for expensive fragrances that rarely go on sale. So when Sephora runs a 20% sale, that's often one of the only times all year you'll see a real price drop on those bottles. For example, Kilian Paris. Her Majesty is $295 for 50 milliliters at Sephora, and the 10 milliliter travel spray is $50. If Nordstrom and Macy's are also sitting at $295, then Sephora Rouge at 20% off is the better deal. So in that case, Sephora is the smartest place to buy it during the sale. The simple rule luxury fragrance buyers follow is this: buy niche or prestige brands not available at department stores in gift sets or gift with purchase during the Sephora sale. Look, this is not about buying the most fragrance. It is about using Sephora for the right bottle at the right time. And this year, that could be either the right sampler set and the right expensive bottle, or there could be another way to save during the Sephora sale. Some of the best Sephora fragrance buys are not even on the women's wall. With some of these new berry and cherry leaning releases, the masculine version can sometimes smell stronger, richer, or simply better than the feminine version. Sometimes it is the better value too. Look at Power of You and Stronger with You. Power of You is 90 milliliters for $138, while Stronger with You is 100 milliliters for $130. So, the masculine version actually gives you more fragrance for less money. At first glance, they look like they're meant for completely different audiences, but when you actually look at the scent direction, they're closer than you might think. Power of You leans into a sweeter, aromatic style. It has that smooth vanilla warmth and fruity sweetness that makes it feel lighter, a little fresher, and very easy to wear during the day. Stronger with You. Powerful with Cherry goes deeper into the gourmand direction. The cherry adds a richer sweetness, and the base is heavier and warmer, so the scent feels darker, more intense, and a little more noticeable. So, it really comes down to preference. If you want something lighter, sweeter, and more everyday friendly, Power of You might be the better fit. But if you prefer a deeper gourmand fragrance with more richness and a stronger scent trail, Stronger with You might actually be the better choice. That is why it is worth checking both sides. Sometimes the hidden value is sitting right there, on the other side of the aisle. You may walk in thinking you are shopping the women's release and walk out realizing the masculine companion is the one giving you more for less. And if you are shopping for two, it gets even better. Masculine and feminine companion fragrances can complement each other beautifully when you go out together. If the fragrances clash, you feel it. If they complement each other, you feel that too. Valentino is a great example. Sephora currently carries the Purple Melancholia pair in both Donna Born in Roma and Uomo Born in Roma. Donna Born in Roma is built around Marabelle Plum, Jasmine Absolute, and Madagascar Vanilla. Uomo brings in cardamom, lavender, and coconut. Both fragrances are built around a shared creamy sweetness in the base. What makes this pairing work is the balance between those elements. The jasmine in the Donna version and the lavender in the Uomo version create a floral bridge between the two scents. So when both fragrances are worn together, the combined scent trail becomes this creamy, fruity vanilla with soft lavender and a touch of spice. Instead of competing, they blend into one smooth scent cloud. Now, you could technically layer them, but that would become a very rich gourmand because of the plum, vanilla, and coconut. Worn individually, they balance each other, making a strong his and hers pairing. So do not just check the feminine release. If there is a masculine companion fragrance, check that too. Sometimes one is better, sometimes both are worth it. Sometimes the pair is exactly what makes the purchase make sense. The smartest thing you can do during the Sephora sale is not buy more, but buy better. Do not spend your Sephora discount on little bottles just because you have not made up your mind yet. Use Sephora for the full bottles you already know you love. Use Sephora for expensive fragrances where the discount actually matters. Use Sephora when the exact bottle you want is there and there is not a better gift set somewhere else. When a department store is offering the bottle, the travel, the lotion, the pouch, the bonus gift, or a ritual, pause before you check out. Sometimes the better move is waiting 5 minutes, checking whether the set is available somewhere else, and buying smarter. That is the whole point. Not just to shop the sale, but to shop it wisely. If you are fragrance shopping this Sephora sale, Tell me in the comments what is in your cart, what you are skipping, and whether you are buying the bottle from Sephora or waiting for the set somewhere else. And if you care about fragrance trends too, my spring and summer fragrance trends video is coming next. So make sure you are subscribed, because that one goes even deeper into what is actually worth your attention this season. Look, you know the motto. Let's make your next buy the right one. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next Why Buy video.